to the Fantasy Footballers Podcast, coming to you from pristineauction.com studios with your hosts, Andy Holloway, Jason Moore, and Mike Wright.
Welcome in.
Feels like a whole new year.
It's because it is, Jason. Thursday, January 3rd, 2019. You might have noticed something a little special, a little different about that introduction, and that's because we have a brand new studio sponsor here.
Shout out.
pristineauction.com.
You've probably never heard of them if you listen to this show.
2019 studio sponsor. Thank you, Pristine Auction, for sponsoring the podcast. And you guys know all about Pristine Auction. Check them out, pristineauction.com. Daily auctions, hundreds of incredible pieces of autographed sports memorabilia. And we'll be talking about them all year long. We'll be breaking down some of the sweet deals that you can get over there. But today's show is jam-packed. We're going to talk through our top 10 picks, our early top 10 picks for 2019. Got some NFL news.
Boring.
Oh, are you
Top 10 NFL picks for next year's draft. Who cares?
Is that because
news? Who cares?
Yeah, he's really into that.
I'm really confused what is happening right now.
That's because he's into the footy.
That's right. I did it. That's right. I mean, look, the people are here in
Who do you think you are? I am.
The people are here in 2019 for one reason and one reason only, and that is to put those socks on those feet and see who wins the Footie Awards for 2018 season. This show's a big deal.
Now we do have one of the handcrafted Footie Award here on the table.
Yes.
And this was blacksmithed?
Yes,
is that what you
is
call
correct.
something that's been made by a blacksmith? They blacksmithed it?
Or is it just Smith?
I believe
forged
they
it.
forged
They forged it.
crafted it.
I believe it's called they have created a weapon.
Yeah, we decided before the show that there's no way, and I'm going to pick this. Oh, that's so heavy. This is impressive. We have a footy that was sent in by a listener who is a blacksmith, and it is this could kill a man. But it's also a wonderful award.
Well, to be fair, if your award can't eliminate someone from the earth, isn't actually an award.
No, it's the weight. The weight is really what tells you a good award from a bad one.
You know that this award, it's not hollow.
No. There's substance. It's filled with
and
heart.
that's what the footies are. We have the official winners. Thank you to everybody out there that voted for the 2018 Footie Awards. All the biggest winners in fantasy football, including some interesting and very close races, including the nickname of the year was decided by how many votes?
40 votes.
Wow.
That's incredible considering how many millions vote on this thing. And then the moment of the year and many other.
The honest truth is that's with the amount of votes, it was about 1%.
Wow.
1% difference in the nickname.
Don't forget, follow us in the new year on Twitter at the FF Ballers. Follow Jason at JasonFFL. Follow me at Andy Holloway. Follow Mike at FF Hitman. And then subscribe over on YouTube, youtube.com/thefantasyfootballers. If you are curious how many episodes you get each and every week now that the fantasy season is over, we record twice a week. Shows come out on Tuesday and Thursday up until June. And then you can get an extra episode at jointhefoot.com. I'm sorry, up until July. Yeah, through June.
Yes.
And then in July, we moved to 3 a week, and then we're 5 a week from August through December. But yeah, you can get a bonus show, a mailbag show at jointhefoot.com if you support us over on Patreon. And you can also check out our non-football entertainment podcast. If you got a little extra budget room in your podcast,
which you do now.
Yeah, because we're not 5 anymore.
Right. There is the Spitballers podcast.
Yeah.
Which is the three of us, once again in front of these microphones, against the will of many, and we just talk about
nothing.
Nothing.
Yes, we debate deeply the merits of nonsense.
Yeah, there was maybe I should pull this up to kind of summarize it in case someone's curious what it is. But we had a review on Spitballers. Do you guys have that one? I thought it described it pretty well.
Yeah, I know where that review is.
I got it.
You got it, Mike? What did they say?
He says it's a bullet point.
Yeah.
So
this is the bullet point.
Kudos for keeping things organized with us. Coming in from Oh My Turtles.
Yes.
It's literally, this is point number 1. It's literally just three dudes arguing over pointless stuff. It's fantastic. 2, the intro is fabulous. Sounds like if Seinfeld was funky. 3, I don't know if there's a difference between the three dudes. Actually, like to me, they are just middle-aged dads, 1, 2, and 3.
That's correct.
Accurate.
Number 4, they made me laugh out loud, like really loud, gross gasp laugh in the middle of class, which I am not happy about, but at the same time, it was funny to everyone else.
Sorry, not sorry.
Number 5, I get to use this to procrastinate. So, yes, 5 stars.
So if you want an extra show, you can listen to the Spitballers podcast. Find it on Apple Podcasts, Google, wherever you listen to podcasts. And we're going to go ahead and get into our quick question of the day here on the Fantasy Footballers. And this is related to creating a very, very, very early top 10 picks for 2019. This is kind of an in vogue discussion. I've seen some articles pop up, people saying, oh, let's look towards next year. And I think we were all curious about where we would put guys right here, right now, if you're making that decision. And Jason and I, we threw ours out on Twitter a couple days ago. Mike,
I kept mine secret.
Mike, I haven't heard yours yet. So how do you want to do this? You want to break down one by one?
I say what you should do is you should read through your top 10 list, Andy, and when we get to your guy, we say where we've got them ranked. How do you feel about that?
I think that's fine. I mean, or we can
Sure. I'd like going one spot at a time, but
all right, that's better.
Here's where I am. Let's put it this way.
all right.
Now, Mike, did you do yours in half PPR?
Yes.
Okay. Jason, you did it
Yes.
as well. I think I did mine technically in full PPR, so that'll give some perspective for that format. But number 1, I have Todd Gurley. Do we have any difference of opinion?
Todd Gurley's
Gurley.
my number 1.
Number 1.
Okay, so we all have Todd Gurley at 1. Number 2, I went with Saquon Barkley. Just broke the rookie record for receptions in a season. Points per game right now, he's number 1, week through 17. I got Saquon Barkley. Who do you guys have at number 2?
I have Melvin Gordon. I think I know. I think there are 5 running backs worthy of the number 1 spot. I'm choosing Melvin Gordon probably higher than most because I believe in the offense. The touchdown volume will be there, and he catches passes and is a complete workhorse.
Mike, who's your number 2?
Ezekiel Elliott
Okay.
is currently my number 2, and that's there's definitely some risk involved in that. Not that there's risk in Elliott, but risk at him being number 2. It's choosing to believe in the reception volume and also believing that 6 rushing touchdowns is extremely low for Zeke Elliott, considering he had 7 in 2017 playing 10 games only.
I've thought a lot about the Barkley versus Zeke debate, and for me it is just the kind of upside of Saquon Barkley.
Oh, yeah.
The unforeseen upside of a guy that's catching that many passes, that central to the offense. I love both players. I get that for sure. My number 3 is Christian McCaffrey. He gets the nod here ahead of Zeke. I'm in a full PPR here in my breakdown, and McCaffrey obviously just broke the receiving record for the running back position, so he gets the number 3 spot for me. Who do you guys have at 3?
I have Zeke, so I'm with Mike. I believe that the touchdowns will be there now that he's being involved in the passing game. Zeke is my 3rd.
And Barkley is my number 3.
Okay, so flip-flop some spots there.
Yep.
My number 4 is Ezekiel Elliott. I've got him right there. I think an argument can be made for him at 3 in my list, but I've got him at 4. Who do you have at 4?
4, I've got Saquon. So
Okay.
he can go from 1 to 5. I think it's, again, I don't believe in the offense as much, but their offense was trash this year, and he was great. So.
Yeah. Mike?
I have Gordon at number 4.
All right, at number 5, I have Alvin Kamara, Mark Ingram, a free agent. Alvin Kamara, explosive, that offense, and Sean Payton. I think I'm obviously talking about a full PPR league as well, so the reception totals.
Kamara is tougher to rank because you don't know the status of Mark Ingram.
You think he's coming back?
I actually think he will be back.
Interesting. I think he may have – I mean, you could be right. He may have to settle. I don't think he's coming back of his own first pick.
Right.
Because the money he would want, they're not going to give him. But if he
Agreed.
doesn't get it somewhere, maybe he comes back. So I've got Kamara at 5. Mike, what do you got at 5?
I got Christian McCaffrey at 5.
Okay.
I have Christian McCaffrey at 5 as well.
Well, then I've got Melvin Gordon at number 6.
And I have number 6. I got James Conner.
Oh, I thought you were going to say James White.
James White Conner.
I have James Conner at 6 as well, and this was when I tweeted this out, this was the number 1, like, people did not agree at all with James Conner at
People
6.
including yours
Including
truly.
Andy
I don't
Hall.
have him in my top 10. I don't think he belongs there.
The Pittsburgh
Wow.
Steelers running back has pretty much always been a top 3 running back in the Mike Tomlin era. It doesn't even matter who it's been. So to have James Conner, who I presume it will be the complete and utter starter, I wish we had the playoffs, right? Because if the Steelers had made the playoffs, we'd see what's their plan with James Conner and Jalen Samuels. I think it's going to be the Conner show in 2019.
We'll get into the news here in a minute, and we'll be talking about the Antonio Brown situation and some of the interesting things happening with the Pittsburgh Steelers. At number 7, I do have currently Antonio Brown. Now, I said this a couple days ago. The cost to trade him is too high. I think he lines up outside again, and I've got him at 7 right now. His offseason situation will be one to monitor, but he's my first wide receiver in that top 10.
At 7, I have my first wide receiver as well, but it's not Antonio Brown. It is Davante Adams.
Ooh, Adams, huh?
Look, he's been unbelievable. Double-digit touchdowns in the last 3 years. He's done it not just with Aaron Rodgers. He did it with Brett Hundley, and now they might get an offensive coordinator in here to open things up a little more. I think Davante Adams is as safe as they come.
And I got Kamara here at number 7.
My number 8 is Davante Adams, the aforementioned, so I've got him just behind Brown.
And I've got Antonio Brown there, so just a flip-flop of wide receivers.
And I'm here to my first wide receiver, who is, in fact, DeAndre Hopkins.
Sure.
DeAndre Hopkins.
Absolutely worthy. I mean, there's similar to running backs, I think wide receivers has a handful of guys that you could take at the top spot, and wouldn't be weird at all in 2019.
My number 9, this was the one that I got a little bit of feedback on. People didn't want to rank him because he doesn't have a team yet, and that's Le'Veon Bell. I went with Le'Veon Bell at number 9. He's gonna get paid, and he's gonna be put in a position to be a workhorse in the NFL. So I think, a perennial number 1 type of guy will get the contract someplace. Le'Veon Bell, I've got a 9.
Yeah, it's super interesting because you got flack for having him in your top 10. I posted one without him. I got flack for not having him in. So people aren't going to be happy no matter where you have Lev Bell. At number 9 is where I've got Alvin Kamara, and again, it's hard to rank him not knowing Mark Ingram's situation.
Yeah, that's why Kamara is where he is. If Mark Ingram does not come back,
yes,
Alvin Kamara will move up a few spots. I got Adams at the number 9 spot, my wide receiver 2.
And number 10, rounding it out, I have DeAndre Hopkins. So, Mike, you brought him up as your first wide receiver. I thought about it as well, and he's in my top 10 at number 10, which means that James Conner's not in the top 10, which means that Joe Mixon, David Johnson, Nick Chubb, Tyreek Hill. If it was a standard league, I would have had Tyreek Hill higher than DeAndre Hopkins.
And I've got DeAndre Hopkins at 10 as well.
My number 10 is Joe Mixon.
Okay.
Interesting. He was almost in my top 10, and then I thought better of it.
I think it means more with you having him there. To me, it means that you give him the nod over a player like Nick Chubb, right?
Yes,
who you really
David
like.
Johnson.
So David Johnson, some of these other potentially. I'm Sony Michel. I mean, I think Sony Michel belongs in the second round. This is my take, obviously. So interesting. Obviously, it's going to be hotly debated all offseason. We're going to have a lot of discussions, mock drafts, a lot of free agency, draft implications. And the questions like Mark Ingram. That'll be very interesting too.
Yeah. And before we move into the news, it's the last time we have to do this. So that excites me greatly that it's the last time we have to do it because, look, you're exhausted. I'm exhausted. I get it. But we got to finish strong. FootClanVote.com. Help us secure that iHeartRadio Podcast Award, the first one ever. Your votes and your time has been so appreciated, Foot Clan. Thank you. You're not going to hear me talk about it on the show anymore. And of course,
that's because voting is
victory.
Almost closed.
Yeah, closes on Saturday.
Go vote right now, FootClanVote.com. And it's rally time. It's time to finish strong. All right, let's get into the news.
News and notes from around the league, presented by Sleeper.
Well, if you got that Sleeper app alert this week, you probably read a few things about the very unsettling Antonio Brown.
It escalated rapidly.
As the Antonio Brown owner in our Dynasty League, I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
Let's give you the bullet points, because maybe the last thing you heard about Antonio Brown was fresh off of an incredible near 20 target week in which he had almost 200 yards, or did he have over
200 and two touchdowns.
He didn't play last week.
Well, he was injured, right?
No, he wasn't.
Maybe.
Apparently, there are reports that he turned down a a test on his knee. But basically, look, he went AWOL again on the team. He left practice. He was angry. He was upset. There was frustration. He yelled he was done. He talked again about why don't they just trade him. And something happened where he was away from the team, showed up on Sunday wanting to play. They said, no, you're not going to play.
So bizarre.
You're disrupting this team. Now, this team has gone through a headache after headache lately. The Lev Bell saga continued through the majority of the year. They started 7-2-1 and didn't make the playoffs. Mike Tomlin has been questioned repeatedly in the press, and he was pretty forthright about the Antonio Brown situation, coming out saying, look, he was a no-show at walkthrough. At that point, he said it became something different. And look, Brown said he felt better, was ready to play. Tomlin said it doesn't work like that. You don't get to skip things and then play at your own volition.
Yeah, and there's reports leaking out of the locker room that teammates believe Antonio Brown was not hurt and that, in fact, he quit on the team, which...
That's a serious accusation.
And that's, in my opinion, that's when things changed for Le'Veon Bell. Earlier it really seemed like Le'Veon Bell was going to come back after a week or two, but then this started happening where the team turned on him, and he said, okay, well, I guess I'm not coming back. It's rough for Antonio Brown.
And you might have seen the report that he's requested a trade. I believe Jason Lockenforth said that. But that seems to be overblown. That was him saying as he walked off, like, well, then why don't you just trade me?
Yeah.
That's not an official request. I don't believe they're shopping him. But whenever anything comes out like that, you know that if I'm another team, I'm picking up the phone.
Yes.
I'm going, ring, ring. Is Antonio Brown there? Can he come out and play?
And you're right, Andy, from the fact that if they trade him, the Steelers will still eat a huge dead cap situation.
$20 million if they trade him before June 1st.
Of dead cap, but it actually frees up their actual money. And in the long run, if they choose to get rid of him right now, they will be saving a lot of money. If they think that this has to happen.
It would be a monster cap hit for this season. You're saying over the lifetime of the contract,
Yes.
It would be a savings. I get that. It also, if they wait beyond June 1st, it's a $15 million cap hit.
Right.
I don't think he's going anywhere. I think this
either.
is Antonio Brown doing what he's done 3 times this year. I don't know whether they give him it sounds silly, but they may give him a raise to assuage the emotions of Antonio Brown. But I've told Jason this for about 3 or 4 weeks. I'm questioning the whole Steelers offense and the situation there with Mike Tomlin. This is just another iron, thrown onto the fire, so to speak, where this locker room has changed, and everything's fine when these problems happen. Lev Bell's contract, Antonio Brown, everything's fine when you win. They didn't make the playoffs for the first time since 2013.
And that's why I don't think they can trade Antonio Brown, because can they do it without Lev Bell? Yeah, James Conner can step in. Jalen Samuels can step in. Can they do it without Antonio Brown? Juju's great, but no, that is much more difficult. Look, they barely beat the Cincinnati Bengals in a must-win game without Antonio Brown. His presence was sorely lost.
So for sake of fantasy, give me the odds that you think Antonio Brown is back with that team that has massive dynasty implications. I think we'd all agree if he goes somewhere else, it is not a good sign for his fantasy value.
No, Jason and I, before the show, we were looking, okay, let's just play make-believe GM. Is there actually a spot where Antonio Brown can go and you get maybe a boost, or
let's
you
just say the same,
or just expect the same? And it is not. Nothing jumps out as
San Francisco wouldn't be bad. You got Garoppolo, no other star wide receiver there. Maybe Detroit.
The Colts, maybe Detroit. Everything is just
it's not better. And I say 85% is my number. I think 85% that he is returning next year to the Steelers.
I would put mine at 65% back.
And I'm about 90% sure he'll be back. But good news, though. He did like the San Francisco 49ers on Twitter.
He's doing this new wave of athletes, the way that they
communicate,
the way that they speak is by liking and following.
Passive-aggressive
Yes.
much?
Yes. Oh, it's amazing.
Social media pouting.
I'm going to go like some tweets myself.
Speaking of, finding validation from tweets.
Oh, yeah.
Michael Keaton did like one of our tweets, Mike.
We didn't talk
about this?
No, we didn't bring this up.
Oh, I thought we did.
See, we've if you don't know, if you haven't seen the great moments of this show before, long ago, multiple years ago, Mike and I simultaneously said, I love Michael Keaton on the show. It was just a serendipitous moment. And ever since then, that's been what we say when we have a kind of a jinx moment on the show.
Say I love Michael Keaton because we all three love Michael Keaton.
Yeah, who doesn't? I mean, really.
And he's
my man's a national treasure.
He's my Batman.
And Michael Keaton, shout out if you're listening. We do genuinely love you. And
you're welcome on the show
anytime. You can come in and guest host.
Also, he said he wrote us back on Twitter. He said he loves us back.
Oh,
so there's kind of a mutual growing best friendship happening here.
I feel like it's not too early to say we're best friends.
I don't think it is too early.
I feel like we're at that point right now. I mean, we can still take it like next level, but
not
we're there.
Not like BFF. Not forever, but
we're not.
At some point, we'll be having
abbreviating.
dinner from him across a very big table, and he'll be on one end, and we'll be on the other end.
But we'll have one of those speakers where we can easily talk.
All right, Eagles coach Doug Peterson said Nick Foles is going to start this week against the Bears. Steve Sarkisian fired.
The Falcons cleaned house.
Yes, they
OC,
did.
DC. That sounds like a band. And special teams coach gone.
Yes.
I love it. If I was a Falcons fan, I'd be ecstatic.
The absence of Sarkisian.
The hard thing is, as much as 2 years ago I would have been all about this, their offense was pretty dang good this year.
And we talked about this. Matt Ryan. It takes him 2 years in a system. He had an off year last year. He was the number 2 by fantasy points per game quarterback this year. Julio Jones ended the year on a touchdown hot streak.
Hot streak.
And
I love Michael Keaton.
So I don't think it's great news. No.
I don't know.
It's
we'll
the
see
devil
who they bring in.
The devil equaled very good fantasy values. So I'm a little bit less inclined to be behind it, although I know Falcons fans are very, very happy. Jim Bob Cooter.
Oh, JBC. He's gone.
I love Michael Keaton.
It's a lot of that happening.
Agreed to mutually part ways. The Lions have fired their offensive coordinator. Cardinals fired their offensive coordinator, Byron Leftwich. Thank goodness. Speaking at Monday's season-ending presser, Winston's going to remain the quarterback moving forward, and the Bucs general manager has come out and said, look, any new head coach we get in Tampa is going to be all about Jameis Winston. This was a complete – if you look at these comments weren't just like we're kind of confident that, Winston's going to give us a better year. It was – he's 24, 25 years old. He's done stuff nobody's ever done in the history of the National Football League at that age. He is our quarterback moving forward. He's our guy. He's our franchise guy. That's
I always thought
the framework for next year.
I always thought when watching Hard Knocks that Dirk Cutter hated Jameis Winston. Not hate's too strong a word, but he was like, that's not the guy he wanted. He was always like just trying to reel him back, try to focus like – if you think you've got this shot, but it could be dangerous, don't do it, Jameis. And, I think they want someone to support their franchise quarterback. I would say half the teams in the league, if Jameis were cut, would be like,
oh, he would be picked up immediately.
Come on board.
And his age and the ability that he has shown at times, he needs somebody – he does seem like he has the psyche that needs – a coach has confidence in him.
Yeah, the contract situation will speak volumes, too, for Jameis because he's in his 5th-year option, which means he's in a contract year. Do they actually bring in a new coaching staff and just lock that up and say, Jameis, you're the guy for the future?
All right, that was today's news and notes. With fantasy football ramping down, now is the time to ask your commissioner if you are using the right platform.
It's a good question.
Use Sleeper. All you Dynasty owners out there, check out the Sleeper platform, the Sleeper app. All right, we're going to get into our playoff picks real quick because we do this every year. We've got the playoff challenge, the Foot Clan. We'll all compete together, and then we'll get into the Footie Award winners. All right?
Okay.
Brooks,
great.
are you on board with that plan?
Sounds great, Andy.
And did you have a nice New Year, Brooks?
Yeah, I actually made it up.
And you
I
stayed up?
You made it.
Incredible.
What'd you do? Were you
the
in?
goal.
Did you and Dylan stay in?
Yeah.
Were you watching like Office episodes?
We watched the ball drop Eastern time.
Okay. Oh, wait a minute.
Time.
Is that what you meant by
Wait,
made
you
it?
made it up.
Yeah, but then we made it till midnight too.
Okay, all right. That 7 p.m. he drank the 5-hour energy. He timed it. He's like, I got to stay
Well,
up.
congratulations. That's better than I did.
How many slices of pizza, Brooks?
Only a few.
Yeah, my man.
My man. My man. All right. Hey, we want to thank Fantasy Champs for sponsoring today's show. If you need a trophy, if you need a belt, if you need some hardware to celebrate your big-time title that you just brought home, check out fantasychamps.com. Use the promo code BALLERS. Get a deal on a great gold trophy, crystal trophy. There's loser trophies. There's rings, custom engravings. It's pretty cool. And that is fantasychamps.com.
Absolutely. And Footclan, you're missing the footballers. I know. You don't get us 5 times a week. You get us twice a week. Well,
They
guess
can
what?
play us in half speed, though. It's not advised, but you can do that if you want twice.
I hear we're pretty funny.
Yeah,
in
from
half
time to
speed.
time we get the, hey, play it at half speed.
You sound like you're drunk.
Sound like you're having a party. Maybe that's true. I don't know. But you can get a third show if you help support the show over at jointhefoot.com, among with many other perks. But just consider it if you want more
And you
footballers
get-
in your life.
You can get the episodes earlier. Now
Absolutely.
that we
Absolutely.
record them the day before, so you can get them earlier.
All right, let's jump in here. Every year we do a playoff challenge over at the NFL Playoff Challenge on the website. You can enter our group and compete against us in the playoff challenge. It's super fun, and you do it at footclanchallenge.com, completely free. And what are we giving away?
Something awesome.
Oh, it's going to be incredible.
It's going to be
We don't know?
amazing.
No, I don't think we know, but trust us, it'll be great. Here's what matters. Here's what matters. Last year, I think we had the 4th largest group because there's groups on the playoff challenge over
Right.
at NFL.com. I think we had the 4th or 5th
Fourth or
largest.
third. No, fourth or third.
But this year, I want to be outside of like the actual NFL's group because that's the website.
They
that
put
everyone's
everyone
doing
in
it.
it,
Yeah.
yeah.
Outside of them, I want to be the biggest.
That's fine.
So go do it.
That's fine. And you don't even know what we're giving away. You're
It
giving
doesn't matter. Play
giving
for
them no
fun.
reason.
I'm playing for fun. I can't even win.
Mike, do you want to break down how that works real quick?
The playoff challenge?
Yeah.
So
If you can.
Certainly you pick your, it's fantasy football. You pick your players, and if your player survives into the next week, they get a multiplier. So
Double the point.
yeah, so first round, let's say I play Dak Prescott. Cowboys win. Next week, because I have Dak, his points will be worth 2. If they go further, his points will be worth 3.
And you can take bye-week players even for week 1. Obviously, you're not going to score anything week 1.
But you got them on a multiplier for week 2.
Yeah, you guarantee that they'll get
Pretty
more
fun.
points next
It
week.
is.
fun.
It's super fun.
And they have prizes over there, too. So we do it every year. FootClanChallenge.com to enter our group, or you can go to the NFL Playoff Challenge website and just type in fantasy footballers and find us and join it for free. And we wanted to break down our picks for Wild Card Weekend and beyond because, look, there's nothing we like more than bragging. Mm-hmm. And if we get it right now, I mean, you've got the whole audio record. I want the glory, man. I want the glory of nailing it. Perfect.
I
That's
am
perfect
pretty,
bracket.
I'm pretty confident that I have a perfect
Is
bracket.
it similar to your Giants pick?
I hope
at the beginning
not.
of the year.
I hope not. Last year in the playoffs, you mean?
I think it was a couple years
Yes,
ago.
2 years ago.
But no, don't worry. Before the season, you said they were going to make the playoffs. Don't worry about that.
I said they were. All right, I might have.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. Let's walk through the first round with our picks real quick. Ravens, Chargers. Who do you have winning that game?
I've got the Chargers.
I do as well.
I got the Ravens.
Okay. Texans, Colts. Who do you got winning that one?
Texans.
Colts.
Colts.
No agreements yet.
Cowboys, Seahawks. I have the Seahawks.
Cowboys.
And I have the Cowboys as well.
All right. The Bears-Eagles game. I have the Bears.
Bears.
And I have the Eagles.
So we have no unanimous.
That is the first time in the history of the show that the first round has not
No-
one.
No
that we're all
shared
in
glory.
agreement.
I don't want to share any of that glory. All right, so my second round matchup on the AFC side, Chiefs, Colts. I have the Chiefs winning.
I have the Chiefs winning that matchup as well.
I have the Chiefs playing the Chargers and losing.
So you have the Chargers going to the AFC title game.
I have the Chargers in the AFC title game. The Chiefs keeping that hot streak of losing in Kansas City in the playoffs alive.
Patriots, Chargers, my second AFC matchup. I have the Chargers winning that game and facing the Chiefs in the AFC title game.
And I have the Patriots Ravens. I have the Ravens winning that matchup.
And I have Patriots, Texans, and I'm taking the Texans for the three-peat of all three of us saying no Patriots.
Now, Mike, just to be clear, that means your AFC title game is
Chiefs,
Ravens. Two rookie, or I guess not rookie, but first year
Yes.
quarterbacks. On the NFC side, I have the Saints, Seahawks playing one another and the Saints winning, going to the NFC title game.
I have the Saints also winning, but against the Eagles.
I have the Saints losing.
Really?
Losing to the NFC North division champion, the Chicago Bears.
I have the Rams-Bears in the other matchup and the Rams winning, so they face the Saints in my bracket in the NFC title game.
And I have the Rams playing the Cowboys, but the Rams are going to win.
I have the exact same as you there, Mike. Rams, Cowboys, Rams win. So Rams, Saints for me.
In the NFC Championship?
Yes.
And who wins?
I have the Saints winning in New Orleans. They're the home team.
So you have Saints.
I have the Saints, Rams in the title game as well, and the Saints winning, going to the Super Bowl. So I'm with you on the Saints.
And I have the Rams playing the Bears to go to the whole big dance. The whole big dance. It's not just
That's what they call it.
The whole big dance. Well, you got to use
Who wins?
the Rams.
Okay, so and then on the other side, I've got the Chargers facing the Texans, with the Chargers winning. So Chargers, Saints, Super Bowl.
Chargers-Texans seems like such an improbable AFC title game.
Yeah.
But you never know. Chiefs-Chargers, I have the Chiefs winning to take on the Saints in the Super Bowl.
I have Chiefs-Rams, and I got the Rams winning.
I think
Super Bowl.
We're talking about
sorry.
the
Chiefs. I have the Chiefs playing the Ravens, and the Chiefs winning, and then the Chiefs playing the Rams, but losing.
So you have just to be clear, the Rams are your Super Bowl title.
That is correct.
Sorry. That was a little tough, Mike. Chiefs-Saints, I got the Chiefs winning the big dance. Chiefs.
And I've got Chargers, Saints, with the Saints winning the Super Bowl.
So you got Saints, Mike. You've got the
Rams,
and I have the Chiefs. We'd love to hear from you on Twitter at the FF Ballers. Let us know who you think's going to win, and my bracket is going to be perfect, obviously, and you guys can give me praise for it. All right, let's move on.
Welcome, one and all, to the 2018 Footie Awards.
We've got your winners, Foot Clan. We've got your winners. We got your losers. And we
got this music
that I never want to stop. All right, let's break it down, guys. You excited?
I'm very excited.
So very close matchups. Brooks is excited. He just tried to cheer, or what he's heard people do when they cheer. Very nice.
You know what would be fun next year? I'm just throwing this out there. I mean, we won't keep in mind, no chance we remember.
Okay.
0.
Okay.
But it'd be
What
fun.
if I write it down, Jason?
Then you'll lose that paper. But it would be fun next year if we don't, because the three of us, we've tracked these results. We've watched the votes come in. We know who wins.
I don't completely know that, actually. I don't know the
I
winners.
know what you're going to say.
I haven't looked in a while.
It would be fun.
Oh, you
if
want them in
we
an
put
envelope?
this out, and Brooks tracks it and prints out the winners and the voting record, and then we open it up and we're surprised.
That needs to be what it is.
Yeah.
I'm
Brooks
writing.
is
I'm
making
writing
note.
it down.
Brooks, I believe that you can remember for next year.
It's gonna happen.
All right.
Brooks doesn't forget. Number one, our first category, the performance of the year. Which single week performance was the most impressive of the entire year? Well, our winner ran away with this one, figuratively, literally, 59% of the vote. The next closest was 15%, and
Hard
that
to stop
was
him.
Derrick Henry in Week 14. Congratulations, Derrick Henry. You have a footy.
Your
For that
footy
17
is in the mail.
Yeah, your footy's in the mail. 17 for 238 and 4 against Jacksonville.
I liked sending the footies in the mail when we didn't have to pay for the shipping
Yeah, now that they actually exist.
of this trophy.
Well, this trophy is there. You got to pay some
and you have to have the
tariffs or
insurance.
taxes or something.
Yeah, it's not insurance on the product itself. It's life insurance on the recipient.
So congratulations, the big winner, Derrick Henry, in our first category.
Yes.
The second, Mike, you want to alternate with me?
Sure, I'll
Let's
jump
do
in
that.
here. Not question number 2. Award number 2.
All right, I'm taking it back, Mike.
Get out of my face. It's the Fantasy Reapers Man of the Year. Talking about that painful injury. We had 2 very close vote leaders in this one, and Leonard Fournette came out on top.
Oh.
People felt the sting of Leonard Fournette just barely over Devonta Freeman.
I voted for Freeman myself.
I voted for Freeman.
I voted for Leonard Fournette. I felt like he had the most drastic impact because Freeman, beginning of the year injury, time to pivot. Fournette felt like it was the meat. That's why I took that bite in the middle of the season, that meaty bite of failure.
I don't know, man.
And
as a Freeman owner, because he wasn't put on IR until late in the season, and you kept thinking he's back this week, then he gets back, then he goes out.
But he only missed 2 games.
It was
He only missed.
he only
played 2 games.
Yes,
is
he
what I
only
meant.
started 2 games.
Well, it was very close.
It was not good. I'll take the Poopiest Pants Award on
Please.
for
Please
obvious
do.
reasons. The Poopiest Pants Award was not a close race. They were big boy pants, and it was taken down with a home run by Rob Gronkowski.
Gronk poop.
Gronk had, of course, 69% of the vote. Of course he did. Gronk, he let everyone down. He let Mike down more than anybody. There wasn't even,
Thanks for the reminder, Jason.
You're welcome. David Johnson was the next closest with only 10% of the vote, and, he was the running back 9. Yeah, see you later, Gronk.
That was a runaway. Rob Gronkowski was a disaster.
I believe Bill Belichick is the one that just pulled that lever.
All right, the Waiver Wire Wonder Award. Which undrafted waiver wire stud was the best signing of the 2018 season? Didn't we used to have a drum roll sound effect?
Yeah, I feel like we need
Did
that.
we?
I'm pretty sure we did. I feel like the quality of the Footie Awards this year
is the best ever.
Down.
No, it's the
Somehow.
best. We've added the most special award this year, making this year's awards
I don't have
clearly
one.
the best.
I don't have one. So.
All right. Well, keep moving.
All right, here we go. The Waiver Wire Wonder, which undrafted waiver wire stud was the best signing of the 2018 season? This one was very close as well. The winner had 41% of the vote. The second place contestant, 37% of the vote, so it was close. And George Kittle ran, he might have won more than one award this year. Well, let's put it that way. But he won. Philip Lindsay was second. Nick Chubb was third.
I voted for Philip Lindsay, and I instantly regretted it. Not only because Kittle was unbelievable, but Kittle became an actual, like the definition of a Kittle was established as 44 fab dollars on the waiver wire. If there's ever a person in the history of the show that deserves the waiver wire award, it's Mr. Kittle.
He almost had 44% of the vote. I mean, that would have been perfect.
He let us down
Well,
again.
you let him down because you voted for Philip Lindsay. You could have really helped that.
I would not have been 3% of the vote.
So congratulations, George Kittle. Your footy's in the mail.
It's in the mail. Number 5, the fantasy wide receiver of the year. I forgot we were alternating. When factoring draft position and the big game performances, who was the wide receiver of the year? This one was not close, receiving almost 50% of all votes. Green Bay Packer, Mr. Devontae Adams. Congratulations, sir. This was truly a breakout year for you. Even though you've had multiple seasons of many, many touchdowns, I think that this was the year that the NFL and NFL casual NFL fans learned of Devontae Adams.
I am shocked by this result.
That it was not
because
close.
Tyreek Hill is well worth a conversation here. He is currently the points per game leader on the season. I feel like he must have had these, I know Devontae Adams was just unbelievably consistent.
That's what it was.
I'm just surprised, though, that the gap is 47-17. It shows that maybe the consistency of Adams led to more Foot Clan titles
the last
than
few
Tyreek
weeks,
Hill did.
The last few weeks. You had Tyreek Hill on your team that lost in the semifinals. I had Devontae Adams on my team that won the championship because he was so dominant and so consistent. He did this year. What he did was what you have to do if you are the middle seat on an airplane, and that is establish dominance on those armrests. He established dominance this season
Elbows out.
The most consistent wide receiver in fantasy football.
Certainly for this year and in your top 10 for next year.
Yes. So the fantasy running back of the year. Drum roll, please. You're welcome.
I'm so sad we don't have a drum roll. What happened?
I don't know.
Brooks ate it.
He ate a sound effect?
This one, I feel the way about this.
You got to be Pac-Man if you're going to eat a sound effect.
I feel the same way about this one that you feel about the wide receivers, because there was a pretty heavy favorite receiving over 50% of the vote, and that's Christian McCaffrey. Look, he was amazing. He was consistent. His volume was there, and he finished the year in some scoring formats as the number one running back. But the conversation with how dominant Gurley was, Saquon's value, they were the next closest. But it was really, look, the Foot Clan decided that it was Christian McCaffrey as the most valuable running back this year.
Well, you had a couple of marks against Barkley and against Gurley. Barkley in the playoffs, the fantasy playoffs, and then Gurley towards the end as well, missing the big game. And, when you look at impact, I guess Christian McCaffrey was on more winning teams.
And CMC, your footy is in the mail.
All right, the fantasy tight end of the year, when factoring in all those things, it was George Kittle.
Man.
Which may be surprising again.
It is.
60.9% of the vote. Travis Kelce came in second with 23% of the vote, and then Zach Ertz came in third. Kittle was both a breakout and ended up at the end of the year very close to that top spot. But Travis Kelce, I'm surprised, was not a little bit closer.
I voted for Kelce, and I thought when I clicked vote, I literally was like, oh, this one's clearly going to be Kelce. He had, he was already a top 3 tight end, but he completely took it to the next level this year. He was the number 1 tight end in fantasy. He didn't cost you a first-rounder, so I thought for sure it was going to be Kelce. But I guess when you factor in the draft cost or getting him off of the waiver wires more appropriately, Kittle probably helped more people win championships. And at the end of the day, when you win a championship, you don't vote elsewhere. I'm not going to not vote for Devontae Adams.
The fantasy quarterback of the year. I'm really glad I get to do this one.
Are you telling me it was Mitch Trubisky?
He was a nominee.
With
I will say this.
1% of the vote.
He did get 1% of the vote.
So this is how intense this vote was. Andrew Luck was in second place with 2.8%. 2.8% of the votes for second place.
I mean, we've never, ever seen any, we say, oh, this guy, Derrick Henry, ran away with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he had like 60% of the vote or something. This is insane.
Well, and we all knew it was going to happen.
Yeah.
We should have had one option.
Yes.
When the quarterback puts up, the best fantasy scoring season of all time.
50 touchdowns, 5,000 yards. Welcome to the NFL, Patrick Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes.
And I'll just follow right in with the breakout player of the year. Great options like George Kittle and James Conner and
This
Phillip
one was at
Lindsay.
least close.
It was closer, but obviously the breakout was the best quarterback performance in fantasy football in the history of the NFL in his first season as starter. Patrick Mahomes, both of your footies are in the mail.
The breakout player of the year, second place was James Conner, and then it was Kittle and Lindsey. So those were high-impact players. Now, the rookie of the year, which player was fantasy football's rookie of the year? Lindsey, monster year. Chubb, solid. Baker, breaking records. More touchdowns than any rookie quarterback in history despite not playing in a couple of games. Lamar Jackson, well, none of them could compete with the obvious winner here. Saquon Barkley, the rookie of the year. In our half-point league format, he is currently the point-per-game champ at the running back position and looks to have a long workhorse-style career in the NFL.
The comeback player of the year. This one was very interesting, with the nominees being Andrew Luck, Adrian Peterson, Lamar Miller, Amari Cooper, and Emmanuel Sanders. But the Foot Clan came with a resounding final for Mr. Andrew Luck. Congratulations, Andrew Luck. Welcome back. And
welcome to the playoffs.
It was a tumultuous offseason for Andrew Luck of him not throwing. We're getting close to draft season. He still hasn't thrown a football.
Not throwing a full-size football.
He's not throwing the Duke.
Well, I'm glad we don't have to talk about that next offseason.
Yeah, he's great. And he came back, and Frank Reich found a way to get that offensive line to protect him along with some of the draft picks. For fantasy football news, I don't know if you guys saw their center, Ryan Kelly, is going to be healthy for the playoffs.
That's good news.
So very, very interesting coming up here.
Amari Cooper finished second, Adrian Peterson third.
And for the steal.
I think that's a shame for Adrian Peterson.
To finish third?
Yeah.
No.
More than 1,000 yards rushing?
Adrian Peterson was left for dead, man. He wasn't in the league.
It's just recency bias, right?
Yeah, maybe. But I don't think it's just recency bias. I think it's Andrew Luck. He deserved it. He was, unbelievable. I don't think many people are winning, a lot of games with Adrian Peterson this year. He had a couple monster games, but he didn't take people to championships. Andrew Luck did. For the steal of the draft in 2018, your nominees are Chris Carson, Andrew Luck, Robert Woods, Pat Mahomes, James Conner, Adam Thielen, and Matt Breida. And this was close between two players. And James Conner has done what no one else in any other category seems to have been able to do, which is defeat Patrick Mahomes. That's how valuable James Conner was in the draft, because when you drafted him, you said, I don't believe Le'Veon Bell's coming back. And you were rewarded with a top 5 running back week in and week out whenever he played.
Or you were just handcuffing Le'Veon Bell.
Sure, maybe you did that. But I think the voters, they called their shot.
The week in and week out only lasted until your fantasy playoffs, though.
That is true, but then a lot of times those are the players who were handcuffing with Jalen Samuels. So
yeah.
I don't feel like people were – I mean, a lot of times the James Conner owner had Samuel. So it might have been the Lev Bell owner with James Conner with Jalen Samuels. But he took it down with 52% of the vote. Next closest, Pat Mahomes, was right there in the 40s.
Absolutely. That's when you get a guy at 153, that's a top 5 running back.
Yeah.
Means good things. I think he's been one of the top 5 players that are common on championship rosters. So, hey, guess what? The guest host of the year.
Another close one.
I'm so excited with the opportunity to give this one away yet again. Went to Jay Grizz this year. Jay Grizz with this is our 4th Footie Awards, Brooks?
Yeah.
So he's won, 4 of these?
Yeah.
Has he?
I don't know if he was around.
No, he wasn't even born yet.
Right. He's only 3 years old.
He hadn't been cut out.
Yeah.
Jay Grizz, your footy is in the studio. You can pick it up at any time.
All right.
Well, I'm going to let you
handle
do this
one. Yeah,
yes.
we'll it's time for the nickname of the year. Which incredible, life-changing fantasy football nickname from the show was the Foot Clan's favorite in 2018? The nominees, there were so many good ones.
Hot Locket.
None of them as good as this music.
I know. I almost don't want it to stop.
I feel like I'm walking into a theme park. So what are they, Mike? Hot Locket.
Hot Locket. We got Booty Scootin'. Cam Newton. Oh.
Hey, guys, don't forget about me, Mark Waltenberg.
Mark Waltenberg. We got Adam Gase. Mr. Beehole, who's apparently a real hot commodity. People are all about a coach who was just fired.
Well, yeah, as long
They
as
love
you're
it.
young.
They love it. Will Disley, Big Montana.
Ooh, yeehaw.
And I was chastised for not proclaiming the moose is loose.
Yeah!
Will Disley.
Come back strong.
Red Dead Dixon. I don't know how he's in this
He just needs one more big score.
The Infinity Stone, Frank Gore. He is infinite.
He is all. He is Frank Gore. Jared Garf.
Jared! Garf!
Wow. Latecomer, Josh Stallion. Excellent. Turok the Dinosaur Hunter. How do Jasons get on this list?
I love it.
Turok
got a solid 1.7% of the vote.
That's 1.7 more than he deserved. Darnold Schwarzenegger, he's going to be strong this year. I'm feeling that one. He's going to be a strong contender. Carry on, my wayward son. Which is not really a nickname.
No, luckily it did not win.
But it
close.
Performed really well. And then the final nickname nominee of the year was our fitness consigliere, Sony Michel.
Now, before you reveal the winner, or before I reveal the winner, I want to break down. This was a close vote. The winner had 18% of the vote. In second place, it was 17.5% of the vote. And 2 more nicknames at 15 and 14% of the vote. So this was narrow. It makes sense, highly competitive. They put this one on par with kind of like a best picture of the Oscars. That's kind of the publicity that this will get you. The winner of the 2018 nickname of the year was Mr. Mark Waltenberg.
Oh, what? Oh, this is
Congratulations, Mark.
I can't believe it. I mean, it's like I can't get playing time, but here I am winning awards. This is fantastic. Hey, guys, do me a favor.
What, Mark?
Say hi to your mother for me.
It's okay.
Mr.
I'm taking the footy right now.
Yeah. Your footy is not in the
Yes.
mail. It's right here.
Yes, it is.
Congratulations, Mark.
Thanks so much. Hey, can I say hi to my mother for me?
Yes.
Yes, you may.
For me.
Can you congratulate?
Hi, Mom.
Can you congratulate Mr. Beehole?
Yes. Oh, hey, Beehole. I'd like to thank the other nominees. A great group. Mr. Beehole, look, I'm sorry that you got that you
Second
lost
place,
your job
yeah.
and you got second place. This is a bad time for you. Say hi to your mother for me and Booty Scoot. I mean, you did good. Sorry about your shoulder. I know that's not feeling well right now. Heal up. And of course, carry on, my wayward son. But I took it down. Say hi to your mother for me.
Mark Waltenberg. I think we may need a Mark Waltenberg T-shirt at this point with the award. So, congratulations, Mr. Mark Waltenberg.
Thanks.
Yes.
And then new for 2018, our final award.
You hit that music again.
Yes.
The Fantasy Footballers Moment of the Year. Which moment from the show was your favorite from 2018? Your nominees: Jared Garf. Hate Blockers, starring Jason Moore. Accidental Funky News Drop with the crew. Jason hating on Mitch Trubisky before his 6-touchdown explosion. Horse Puns featuring Michael Gallup. Breaking news: Hugh Jackson fired. Mark Waltenberg. Mike gets his Twitter verification starring Mike Wright. And Red Dead 2 references starring, not a sponsor, Red Dead 2.
Well, good timing.
That was wonderful timing, Mike. I'm jacked up. All right, the winner. By the way, the winner had 36% of the vote. A very close result for second. Second was Mark Waltenberg. Third was...
Whoa, spoilers!
I know. Third was Jason hating on Mitch Trubisky. But the winner, with 36% of the vote,
The best moment of the year.
was really...
Let's just flash back to it.
All right, let's do it. Okay, let's move on to the news.
Oh, yeah. Super newsy. Oh. Yeah.
We're going
News.
back to the 80s?
What on earth? I'm leaving this in.
Oh, this is magical.
ESPN's Adam Schefter reports. The MRI has confirmed
So-
Jimmy Garoppolo's initial diagnosis of a torn left ACL. Someone call Axel F. Get Axel Foley in here immediately.
So if you could see Brooks' face, it's a gas. So a couple of days ago, we lost our whole soundboard.
Where did that even come from?
We lost our whole soundboard, and Brooks rebuilt it. And we hadn't played news since then.
That is maybe my yeah.
Cardinals coach Steve Wilkes announced Monday that rookie Josh Rosen will start at quarterback going forward.
Oh man,
Dalvin Cook, day to day, unsure of his week 4 status.
Jaguars coach Doug Marrone said running backs Leonard Fournette and TJ Yeldon will be day-to-day this week.
Speaking Monday, Titans coach Mike Vrabel said there are still throws Marcus Mariota can't make.
Hey, guess what? Alshon Jeffrey still hasn't been cleared for contact.
It's the best news segment of all time.
Well, the funky news, Brooks, you took it down. You had to make the greatest mistake you've ever made.
Yeah, pretty much. That's the only way to put it.
Until forgetting the drum roll, am I right?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Maybe that'll be show of the maybe
Moment
you'll
of the
win
year.
it. Yeah.
So the winner was the funky news drop. Congratulations to the funky news drop. I'm
And
sure
thank
it will
you.
make a
Your-
future appearance.
Your footy is
It's already here.
Is
It's
on
the
the
table.
internet?
Yes.
So I want to thank everybody in the Foot Clan for an incredible fantasy football season. I'm so excited for the prolonged bye week, the offseason, the NFL draft, free agency, all the discussions that we're going to have on strategy, on commissioning a league, on how to
Coaching
making a league better, all the coaching
yeah, the
changes.
coaching
oh, my
changes.
goodness. We're going to be hearing about those very, very soon and breaking them down each and every week. Again, the show Tuesday and Thursday. And we want to thank Pristine Auction for being the new studio sponsor for 2019. That's a big deal. You can see them right here on the set. You can check them out at pristineauction.com. And every day, we're going to close it out with the Pristine Deal of the Day. Here's what went yesterday. And mind you, there are hundreds of daily auctions on pristineauction.com. Michael Thomas signed Saints jersey. Beckett witnessed. Authentic Autographed jersey, $77.40. $77.40. You can check them out. PristineAuction.com. Thank you so much for supporting the show. And a reminder, go to FootClanChallenge.com. Join the NFL Playoff Challenge with us as we head into a fun weekend of playoff games. We'll be back next week.
We will be back, Foot Clan. Thank you so much for the magical season. We'll see you on Tuesday. Goodbye.
Thank you for listening to another episode of the Fantasy Footballers Podcast. Join our fantasy football community on jointhefoot.com and follow us on Twitter @TheFFBallers.